This is already something that has passed us to the point where we're not the country we should be or we used to be. Now, you voted for Trump. Tell me why this is okay with you.
During the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, the outspoken comedian and political commentator confronted a Trump-supporting Fox News host about the stark differences between the two political parties in accepting the outcomes of free and fair elections. When the guest predictably attempted to draw false equivalences, Maher decisively shut her down. Maher critiques Mary Katherine Ham, a frequent guest and Fox News contributor. While Ham acknowledges that Trump's actions are more severe, she attempts to blur the issue, muddying the waters to defend Trump's record, albeit subtly. Now addressing the fallout from Trump's controversial victory, Maher aims to emphasize, in his view, the Democrats' moral superiority in respecting democratic processes. This is one of the best episodes on Real Time with Bill Maher, so don't miss it.
This is already something that has passed us to the point where we're not the country we should be or we used to be. Now, you voted for Trump. Tell me why this is okay with you.
Well, genuine thank you to Biden and Harris for doing what they should do, right?
That he didn't do.
Yeah, and
Trump.
yes, and Biden is, by the way, I'm not sure he knows he's in the room with Hitler, but he gets half credit for doing this peacefully, right?
Right off the bat, let's be clear. Mary Katherine Ham, a regular guest and Fox News contributor, is not the most extreme Trump supporter you'll find on the network. However, even she approaches the topic in a way that skews the narrative. She acknowledges President Biden and Vice President Harris for observing the peaceful transfer of power, but frames it as if only Democrats bear this obligation. What she could and should have said is that credit is due to Biden and Harris for doing what every incumbent administration is expected to do: ensure a peaceful transition. Instead, she fails to hold Trump accountable for refusing to do the same. Trump doesn't just lack credit, he deserves criticism for disregarding this fundamental democratic principle. When Bill Maher interjects to point out Trump's failure, Ham diminishes the significance by stating Biden gets half credit, tossing in a quip about whether Biden even knew he was in the room with Hitler. This offhanded remark is a nod to the numerous times Democrats, alongside former Trump officials like John Kelly, Mark Milley, and James Mattis, have accurately labeled Trump's behavior as fascistic. If Ham disagrees, she's welcome to take it up with those who work directly with Trump and have a deeper understanding of his conduct.
Another thing here, we had a contest in democracy by listening to the voters about what they cared about most. And I think one of the issues with voters was that making January 6th, 9/11, making that day into everything, did not win that fight. It didn't win the fight about what they cared about most. There were other things in their personal lives.
That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, you know that if Trump had lost this election, right now, we would be talking about the votes that are still coming in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, and he'd be in the courts, and we would just be all in a tilt. One side accepts election losses and one side doesn't. This asymmetry cannot continue.
This is fascinating to unpack. Mary Katherine Ham, like many Trump supporters, embodies a contradiction often seen in their rhetoric. These are the same people who dismiss majority rule by asserting we're not a democracy, we're a republic, and rejecting the significance of the popular vote. Yet, the moment Donald Trump edges closer to winning a popular vote, or even gains a plurality, they quickly shift to celebrating it as a supposed mandate. It's important to note that Trump has never won a majority of the popular vote. His margin continues to shrink when you account for third-party and write-in votes combined with those cast for his opponents. This means Trump doesn't represent the majority of voters, but rather a plurality, a far cry from the landslide or mandate some of his supporters claim. Interestingly, this logic is not applied when Democrats decisively win both the popular vote and the Electoral College, often by wider margins than Trump ever achieved. This inconsistency highlights the asymmetry at play. Trump and his supporters rely on shifting standards, using selective metrics to frame their victories as more significant while downplaying Democratic wins. In essence, this approach reveals a reliance on asymmetry, not only in elections, but also in the arguments they present. Their success often depends on holding themselves to different, more lenient standards than they expect others to follow.
Defending it cannot just look past it like, well, we won the election, so that's it.
Well, wait, hold on. Currently, Bob Casey, Democratic senator in Pennsylvania, is doing exactly what you're saying, where he's looking for all these votes and trying to, and the Bucks County commissioners are saying, we need fake ones. We need to get all the ones that are unregistered.
No, they're just counting them.
No, that's not actually true.
They're just counting them.
It's not actually true. And if you dismiss that and you don't recognize the mote in your own eye, then that is a problem.
So you're saying Bob Casey in this, that's equivalent to Trump in 2020?
No, I don't say they're equivalent. I say that you have to recognize that these things happen, for instance, in 2016 and 2000.
Mary Katherine Ham, while far from being an extreme Trump supporter, frequently pivots in ways that dilute accountability. However, she conflates Casey's insistence on counting all votes with Donald Trump's premature declaration of victory in 2020, which is a fundamentally different scenario. Ham also misapplies a biblical analogy about removing the mote in one's own eye before addressing the log in another's. Ironically, her own defense of Trump exemplifies this issue. Rather than addressing the profound failures on her side, she distracts with minor critiques of Democrats. Maher, despite his own controversial takes on culture, firmly challenges such false equivalencies. He underscores the moral failures of Republican leadership and the dangerous precedent set by Trump. In electoral politics, Maher's focus on principle and rejection of diluted defenses is a necessary counter to the pervasive double standards. It's a critical reminder of the importance of holding leaders accountable, regardless of party affiliation. What do you think about this topic? Please comment below to let us know. Thank you for your interest. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any interesting videos.
Okay, here are the questions for panel. Has Trump's victory emboldened young misogynists like Nick Fuentes, who posted a video telling women, your body, my choice? Oh, well, that's rapey. Yes, that's horrible. I vote horrible. Any dissenters?
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. Okay, well, Nick
He also
Fuentes...
weirdly turned on Trump at some point during the campaign and said he was going the other direction. And now he's like...
And then he pepper sprayed a lady, which is really alpha.
Yeah, very.
I mean, look, the Democrats have had their people, but I mean, there's just a lot of people in that administration that have women issues.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Glad we all agree on that.